Excuse me? What? Hey, what's up guys, this is AceStarThe3rd and thank you so much for watching. And today, I'm going to review you guys the 3rd Gen OU battle I had against one of my good friends, Red. Now, in front of you, what you're seeing right now is the best team I've ever made in my entire life in 3rd generation. It is just the perfect team. Everything on this team is just right. I took the tips from everyone else who recommended things, and it's just as perfect as it could possibly be. So I really do hope you guys enjoy this amazing battle. So, if you look in the description, you will see that question and a whole bunch of other cool things like some advice and some featured sets and some really cool things down there. So I hope you guys can go down there and check those things out. So if you look at this team, like I said before, this team is just absolutely perfect because everything on this team is just so synergetic. All my weaknesses are covered and all types are covered on this team. As you can see by this weakness and resistance chart, this one is kind of like weird because I didn't have any internet access, so I had to just paste Jirachis from an old one onto this one. So the weakness and the resistance count is kind of off, but the resistances and everything are still right on the chart, so you can look at those. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing 3rd generation battle. Please be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys there. Let's go. What I don't know is if you guys actually listen to the background music that I choose, but the music that I listen to is slapping. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to the background music I choose, then pay attention to it in this video. It's pretty good. So he's gonna be laying off his Salamence as I load up my Buttward GX. This is kind of good for me because I get to go for an Ice Beam immediately, regardless of what stage is in. I still be able to get damage on something because there's no immunity to ice. So he's gonna be going out into his own Swampert. So I'm assuming this might be a specially defensive Swampert like how mine used to be, but mine isn't like that anymore. I have taken people's advice and I have made mine a relaxed nature, and I have given it toxic. So now this Swampert is toxic, and it's excellent for me because now this thing is going to be not going to be as bulky as the, your oh my god, your bulky little Swampert. Well, not anymore unless you have something with Heal Bell or Rest, but hoping he doesn't have that, I'll be trying to keep this thing getting toxic damage for as much as I possibly can. So I'm going to be switching back out into my Star Spear and knowing that he's probably going to be going for an Ice Beam onto my Zapdos. I got word in, but he's going to be going for an Earthquake, predicting my Swampert to switch in or something that can take an Ice Beam. So that's pretty smart on his behalf, but it is only my Star Spear, so he didn't really do that much damage anyway, but damage is damage. So I'm going to switch out into Joan Rivers because Joan Rivers can easily take a Hydro Pump or anything that Swampert is going to be going for, and I can retaliate easily by going for a Elite Seed. So he is going to be taking a lot of damage from Toxic. He's obviously going to be switching out now because he really can't do anything to Joan Rivers, and he doesn't want to take any more Toxic damage. So I'm going to be going for a Elite Seed. Hopefully he brings in something like Salamence, and he does in fact do that. So now that the Salamence is Elite Seeded, it's going to be awesome for me because now I have to do some investigative work and then find out what exactly his moveset is, because if he has Fire Blast, it's going to be awesome because I can easily just go into my Swampert and wall that anyway, or I could just go into Star Spear if he happens to have Rock Slide, or I could just do the same with Swampert anyway. It doesn't really matter. So I'm predicting the Dragon Dance, and that's why I switch into the Star Spear. I'm going to double switch out into my Swampert, hoping that he's probably going to go for something like either a Rock Slide or something else rather than Fire Blast. So I'm going to be going on to his Buttward GX, and he's going to be going for a Hidden Power of Flying. So as you can see by his HP, he's not having any leftovers, and as you can see here, his Hidden Power of Flying is doing a massive amount of damage for me to be a relaxed nature and have maximum investment into my defense. That's just not acceptable. So it's most likely that this guy has a Sharp Beak, which is what I used to do, so he's copying me. So I'm going to be going for an Ice Beam as he goes out into his Weekend. He resists it, unfortunately, but I can't do anything about this. He got frozen. So now that he's frozen, I'm going to be taking the opportunity to set up Spikes with Forretress. I really can't do anything about freezing. I don't control the game. I really can't do anything about hacks. If you didn't want to get frozen, then maybe you should have had Safeguard. I hate it when people just go like, oh my god, it's so terrible. But, I mean, you should have had Safeguard. So, anyway, so now I'm going to be going into my Star Spear, setting up some Spikes, knowing that I can easily do it now because I only have a chance of him waking up or getting unthawed with a 20%. So with a 20% chance, so it's like, okay, it's awesome for me now. So I'm going to setting up my first layer, and I'm going to be setting up my second layer as he goes out into his Skarmory. So now I'm hoping that he doesn't go for something like Taunt, which would be stupid because then I couldn't do anything to it, but he happens to set up his own Spike, so I'm like, okay, are you baiting me to go for Rapid Spin? I'm going to fall right into your trap and do it anyway. I don't care at the moment, but I mean, still, he did it really nicely, and he bamboozled me, and now I look stupid. So I'm going to be switching out to my Celeste, hoping he's going to be going for a Giga Drain, predicting my Swampert switch in, and he does in fact do that. So now this Gengar, I know, is not going to be wanting to stay in for a not even a critical hit, but a super effective stab psychic attack. So I do believe I'm going to be going for a Wish at this moment as he switches out into his Metagross. Metagross is going to be a huge issue for me because Metagross has an immense amount of attack, and his explosions, if it's a choice band kind of Metagross, but I don't know yet, it's going to be doing massive amounts of damage to anything, even Forretress. So he happens to be choice banded because he's not having any leftovers or anything. So this is really bad for me because I have to go out into my Butward GX hoping he doesn't go for anything like an Earthquake, or he just goes for Meteor Mash or something. But he happens to switch back out into his Gengar, predicting my switch into the Swampert. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just doing all this switching and this predicting. You are just excellent. But I'm going to be going out to my Azkin 14 hoping he just goes for a Giga Drink, but he predicts my switching into my Zapdos and goes for an Ice Punch. So I'm like, how are you predicting me so excellently? I don't like this. So I'm going to be going for a Rest or a Thunderbolt. I do believe I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt if I'm not mistaken, or Rest. Roar. Excellent. So I'm gonna be going for a Roar as he switches right out into his Salamence. This is pretty awesome for me because now I know he's gonna be going for a Dragon Dance or something, so I can just switch out into anything I want to, knowing that he's gonna be doing that. So I'm going to go into Butward because I know the Butward can take anything that this thing throws at it, but he happens to go for a Rock Slide, so I'm like, excellent, this thing he does not have a Flare Blast, so I can easily go into my Forretress later on and then be able to wall it and then go for things like Spikes, Rapid Spin, or Explosion on it because they don't have any other moves to hate it. So I'm going to be going for a switch back out into my Azkin 14, knowing that he's going to be switching out into a Suicune because he wants that thing to get unthawed as easily and as less painfully as possible, so that's why he was just trying to go into it because he knows my Swampert really can't do anything to it. So I predicted that, and now I'm going to be going for a Rest as he switches right out into a Swampert, predicting me to go for something like Thunderbolt, but I'm not going to be doing that because I don't have time to be damaging Pokemon at the moment. I have to go to sleep and get my Beauty Rest. So now it's pretty awesome for me because now my health is all the way back to full, and now at this point I'm going to be trying to go for a Sleep Talk Roar. I kind of should have switched out, but I really didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't want to over predict or anything, and I know that if he does go for Ice Beam, it doesn't really matter because I have a lot of special defense investment, and Swamperts don't have the highest special attack stat ever, so I know I can take a couple of them unless he gets a critical hit, but that's kind of unlikely, so I really just don't really care about that right now. So I'm gonna be going for another Sleep Talk. Hopefully I do get the Roar because I really don't want to take another Ice Beam. It'll be really bad for me if I do, so hopefully it does. I go for Sleep Talk and I do happen to get the Roar. This is awesome for me because he gets to roar out into his Gengar. Now this is pretty awesome for me because I know I can go for a Thunderbolt. He has Ice Punch, I know, but I really can't go into anything else because the things that resist ice also are weak to Fire Punch, or I still have Snorlax, but I don't reveal it yet. So I'm gonna be going for a Thunderbolt. It's gonna be shocking that Gengar. Hopefully I'm gonna be doing a lot of damage to it and I don't have to worry about it anymore, but I do happen to get a critical hit, which I do believe mattered a lot. And unfortunately I have been getting the unlucky hacks for him, at least, and I know it really did matter for that Gengar to be around because of my rapid spinning and everything, and he needed the coverage, but I really can't do anything about it. If you didn't want that to happen, then maybe you should have had Lucky Chance. So I'm gonna be going on to my Celeste hoping he goes for something like Meteor Mash or Rock Slide, but he goes for an Explosion, and this is like really bad because now I can't go for Rich for anymore because this stupid Metagross has like a billion attack, and anything that this thing does with the Choice Band Explosion, unless it's a Dusclops or a Gengar or something, is gonna do a lot of damage to it, like almost always kill it. So I'll be going out into my Star Spirit hoping he goes out into a Salamence. Now I can Rapid Spin away these spikes, and now he's going to be going for a Dragon Dance, knowing that it really can't do anything to him. But I don't care at this moment. I'm going to be going for a Rapid Spin anyway, just getting rid of the spikes because I can't have those spikes around. My Pokemon, most of them are grounded, and I don't want them to take any extra residual damage because I need to be doing a lot of switching out with this team. So he's going to be going for 2 Dragon Dance, thinking that I can't do anything to him. But I know that my Star Spear is coming from the space, and it does just immense amounts of damage to anything because it's Star Spear. So he's going to be going for an Explosion. Hopefully he's going to take out the Salamence, but he does take it out, and now I don't have to worry about that Salamence anymore. It is a huge threat that is gone. That really wasn't really that threatening because I had my Swampert, but still. Now he goes on to his Skarmory, and I know at this point, once I take out his Swampert, which is already toxic and is taking a lot of damage from the spikes anyway, then I can just essentially get rid of the rest of this team with my Zapdos because I have Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt is super effective against his Suicune and his Skarmory. So I basically have this game in the bag unless I let my Azkin 14 die out of nowhere. So I went for a War because I thought he might have went out into a Swampert, and then I wanted him to be able to switch out and then be able to get toxic and spike damage once he switches in again. And I do happen to predict that correctly now. So once his Swampert comes back in, he essentially has lost the game already because he has nothing to take a Thunderbolt, or so I'm thinking. So It's pretty awesome for me because now he's going to be saying it and hoping that he's going to, like, you know, unthaw or something, which would work because I wanted him to pour out into his Swampert or something. But now he goes into a Skarmory. I kind of did not want to, like, you know, go through the rest of his team. Like, I didn't want to do that because it's just not my style. I don't like sweeping through teams really that much. As you can tell, for the rest of my battles, I never actually, like, sweep, you know, unless I, you know, want to. So, anyway. He goes into a Suicune. It's pretty awesome for me because then I super effectively hit this thing. But I know at this point, I might as well just do and go out with a bang because I just can. So I'm going to be switching out into my Snorlax because my Snorlax has not had any fame. I don't think I switched into it once this battle until right now. And now it's at full health. Well, not anymore. But now I can go for anything I want to because it only has a Swampert that's about to die to Spike's damage and a Suicune that if it switches out is going to die to Spike's damage anyway. So I might as well do this as flashy as I possibly can. So he's going to be staying in frozen and not doing anything. And I'm going to be going for a choice, not even a choice, but a stab self-destruct, which has 300 base power, the most powerful attack in 3rd generation, and it's going to indefinitely take out a Suicune at like 2% health. So now it's going to be awesome because I know it can go into Joan Rivers, who has, did she win The Apprentice? I really don't know. Did Joan Rivers win The Apprentice? I'm not sure. I think she might have. So Swampert comes in and dies due to Spike's damage, and I do in fact beat Red. So now I really want to know that. Can you comment? Someone can comment. Did Melissa and Joan Rivers win The Apprentice? I'm not sure about that. I think they did, but I'm not sure. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like if you like it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you're cool, subscribe if you haven't, share if you have the balls, and favorite if you're a Forretress. Right now I have 1,100 subscribers about because of my Sylveon prediction video. It was actually a pretty awesome video that I predicted there to be a new evolution that's going to be released in Pokemon X and Y. So if you guys haven't seen that, then please be sure to check that out because it has some really awesome speculation in that, and I happen to present a lot of evidence and supporting facts to back up my statements and everything. But there's still people who do stupid comments and it's just retarded, and it's like, why are you saying these comments that make no sense and it just makes you look stupid? Like, what are you doing? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I should be having a video on Pokemon Pit uploaded on the 1st of July, which means this video is probably going to be up before then, which means that I have this right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this has been AceStarThe3rd, the 3rd generation master, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay tuned for more 3rd generation. I'll see you guys later. Once again, thanks for watching. Please tell me about Joan Rivers, and be sure to look in the description for that question and my featured set so you guys can do some awesome 3rd generation stuff too. So I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.